Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be reviewing Mind Freeze by Haunt. I really like this band. They're very unique sounding. They sound very vintage with their synthesizers, and I think their name matches what their sound is like, Haunt. A lot of their riffs and melodies are very haunting, so appropriately named. But let's look at the album cover first. So this is also a very vintage album cover. It kind of makes me think of like Dungeons and Dragons, a warlock going into a dungeon or something like that. Very cool logo, very cool album cover with Death or whoever that might be on the cover holding a skull. Looks super cool. And in the background, perhaps a mirror image of himself, or maybe another cultist, or whatever this might be. But it's very intriguing. It's what got me to listen to it to begin with, although I've listened to Haunt's previous albums, so I'm somewhat familiar with them. But I really like this album cover a lot. It does draw me in. I give it a 4.5 out of 5. So the music itself, there are two really good tracks that stick out to me that have made my playlist with this band, and that's Light the Beacon, the intro song on there, and then also Saviors of Man is also another really good song. Overall, their guitarist is really good. He has some really awesome guitar solos. I feel like a lot of metal these days, you don't really hear guitar solos. I feel like people have gotten away from that. And he's a really talented guitarist who does a really good job. They're very emotive, very melodic, have really cool parts to them, and they really add to the song when he does put them in. So I really like that, getting back to that. And they sound like solos out of the 80s, which I think is pretty cool. Light the Beacon has a really cool synth intro and a very catchy chorus that you can sing along to. In fact, most of their songs you could sing along to. They're very much like a rock and roll, hard rock kind of a band with sort of a doom vibe and feel to them. But it's kind of an emotional song. It sounds like it's about losing loved ones. So it's kind of sad, but it has a very upbeat rhythm to it, or upbeat sound to it. So I like it a lot. It's very catchy. Saviors of Man also has a very cool synthesizer lick and a very catchy guitar melody. And that's probably the most ripping solo on the album, in my opinion. Though there's lots of great solos, so you really need to listen to all of it to hear all the solos. But this is my favorite song on the whole album. I really like that song. I listen to that one a lot. A couple other notables is the title track, Mind Freeze. They kind of catch iciness and chilliness and freezing, like it says, Mind Freeze, with the riffs. I don't know, there's something about them that sound chilling. The riffs are chilling and they're haunting. They know how to really name themselves and brand themselves to match the music. The fast-paced intro of Hearts on Fire kind of reminds me of System of a Down for a minute, like the BYOB song. But also another good track. Hearts of Fire and Mind Freeze, both good songs. 3.5 for both of those, solid. I don't find myself wanting to listen to them all the time, but still really good tracks, worth a listen. Divide and Conquer, also a pretty good one. It's not memorable to me. I've listened to it a few times and I can't remember how it goes. I have to go back and listen to it every time. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. But it's got a slow rock groove and an awesome solo in it. I do remember that. So I go back and check out those things for that. So that's a great tune. Fight or Flight's okay. It starts with a blazing solo right off the bat. Pretty good riffage, but just not memorable to me. It didn't stick out anyway. That's like a 2. And I feel like the last couple of songs, On the Stage and Voyager, feel like filler to me. I listened to them a couple times through and they're just meh. I could have done without them. I think they could have just gone the first 7 songs. But Have No Fear, that would have been a great song to just end the album on. I think that's a solid song. Give that one a 4. Has a really cool synthesizer melody. They chant Have No Fear in between each line of the verse, so the chorus is intertwined with the verse, which I like. Gives it a different feel than your typical song. It has very haunting guitar riffs, seeing a theme here, that build into rock and roll grooves. That is pretty cool. So I dig that song a lot. Has another great solo, and then a cool post-solo riff bridge that I really like, that I think is worth checking out. So Have No Fear is another excellent song. So highlights on here are Saviors of Man. If you really wanted to just give this a taste, I would check out that one. Light the Beacon, another great tune, and Have No Fear. Those are the highlights from the album. A couple filler songs, some pretty solid songs, excellent guitar solos, solid guitar riffs in general, and I like that the synthesizer's in there. It really matches the tone of the album. So overall, I do like this album, but I have to give it a 3.5 because of some of the filler. I think if they cut out some of the songs, they might actually only be down to 6 good songs, but I'd rather have just 6 excellent songs in the album than a couple filler songs. But still a solid album, Worth checking out. Check out some of the back catalog. Let me know in the comments below what you think, and I'll see you next.